Frank, you were down to just bring him in after you guys just fought?
Yeah. Well, we were friends. We had a mutual friend, Wayne, and he kind of stayed between us and, like, you know, kind of kept the peace and, you know, kept our friendship also sort of active because we were going to fight each other. And so when it was over, I really respected what Tito had done, how he presented himself, how he fought. I mean, I was kind of mad that he dug his fingers in my head, but you know, I mean, Alan Goes fish hooked my eyeball, like, you know,
My sensei?
Alan Goes fish hooked my eyeball.
Give me my blue belt.
Yeah, I broke his leg for
Crossing
it.
great
Was he a dirty fighter?
He literally came from the streets of Brazil and was a street fighter.
Yeah,
he was like gangster, and I didn't know because we were all like sports pancreasy dudes. I didn't know we were going into this situation until we started fighting, and it got gangster quick. The fish hooked my eyeball, but anyways, you know, I had so much respect for you, but both that you stood in that line because I would have never stood in that line. And that you thought you would beat me after standing in that line. I was like, okay, that's nuts right there. That man's got real heart and nuts. And like, I respect that more than anything. So that carried me through. And then afterwards, I never had any animosity towards Tito. I just wanted to beat him. Like, I literally just wanted to beat him. And then that was, and then what most people don't know is I had an addendum in my contract that should I ever publicly retire, announce my championship, that I was out and I was a free agent. So I knew I was going to beat Tito. I knew I was going to be a free agent. And I knew if I could show this young man the secret knowledge that I had, he would kick everybody's ass for a long time. And then give me some credit, which he did.
Which he did.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of manhood to sit there and then give props to the people that helped pave the way.
Well, it's honesty. And, you know, at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and you got to be respectful and have integrity for yourself. And that's something that I carry through my whole career. If I have integrity for myself. Yes, I've pissed off a lot of people, but at the same time, I've always been honest. I've always told the truth, and I always made sure that, you know, I look in the mirror and I have integrity for myself. And the guys who helped me get to that point, and there's other guys who helped me get to that point also that are on the opposite side that I have zero respect for. But at the same time, it's just, you know, I've really been fortunate to learn from a lot of great people, and Frank was one of them. Like I said, I took a whole month out of my time. I went up, and I remember my ex-wife at the time. She's like, "Tito, when you come back home?" I'm like, "I'm not done yet. I still got more things to learn." And it was cool because I learned a lot from him.
It was true. It's true MMA legendary pioneers right here. People that paved the way. You know, you created one of the greatest rivalries in the history of the UFC. And with that, kind of birthed the UFC to what it is, this mainstream form. Frank, you were super tied to the Fertittas and Dana. You were also the first UFC middleweight champion, Strikeforce middleweight champion, and WEC middleweight champion. What was your first impression when you met him, when he came to come train with you?
Well, I kind of knew him. Like, we partied and hung out and socialized, and I think I made a couple of trips down here. And, you know, like partied up, and so I knew him as a person. Like, I knew he was a good guy.
Got it.
You know, like I didn't feel. You know, I've been to prison, bro. I know good people. I know bad people. Like, I know energies, and I was like, oh, he's a good guy. And then we lined up fighting, and it's like, wow, you know, dang, I got to fight this good guy. But like I said, all those things which he probably didn't, you know, recognize. Standing in line, I would have never stood in line. I'd have just never done that. And even, you know, only because I couldn't do that. But he did.
What about the weight
And I
class?
respected that more than anything you ever know. That's why I said, bro, you don't have to stand in line. Like, just come to the front. I mean, what are you doing? And he's like, no, bro, I want to do this right. And I signed it, and he walked away.
But you guys had already known each other before that when he stood in line?
To a certain extent,
Yeah.
yes. Not like hugely. I was a fan because I watched all his fights.
Well, you had just met him once or twice before, but you didn't know him.
Couple times, but I didn't know.
Oh, okay, I
him.
get
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's still cool. It's still.
But I mean
respect.
that everything, even to this day, like I go to a football game or whatever, I wait in line and go to the bathroom. That's me. I'm not no different than anybody else.
Yeah.
I just have worked hard through my life. I'm very fortunate to be where I am. God has blessed me with some skills and hard work, and I just want to treat everybody the way I would want to be treated.